Hello, hello, and welcome back to my channel. This is your app. I love tea with you. You know. Hey y'all. This is gonna be my episode recap of Tyler Perry's Sistas. Episode season 1, season 8, episode 1. And the episode was up where they're doing this montage scene of all the cast being interviewed for Gary's so-called murder. And you know what's pissing me off about this though? They're doing this and now Gary is the protected one. Because now we're trying to figure out who did it, right? So I just want to say at the beginning, Gary's not dead. I'm spoiling my own episode, okay? My own episode recap. He's not dead. And so the thing about it is, the only problem with that is the people who were supposed to be protecting these people from him seem to be now on his side. But child, we have Tyler Perry land. I can't make up this stuff. So Andy's first up. We have that soft talking detective. Why would you ever consider marrying Gary Borders after everything he's put you through, Andy? That's what I was trying to say. And she's looking down in that sensitive way Andy does. And she's looking so innocent. But you know, he's trying to get something out of her. But all the while now, he knows that Gary is alive. Now, Andy kept this secret for some reason, that she was obligated to marry Gary. The only person she told was Fatima, which was kind of weird that she didn't tell any of the other sisters. So, next we have Phony Macaroni Baloney Tony and Rich. And Rich asks Phony Macaroni Baloney, has he seen Danny? And he's like, not yet, man. You know, he came in with his nice suit on and his hips. And Rich is trying a new Kool-Aid with juice blend with some jojoba. And I'm making these names up because I didn't understand where he said, Chad. Echinacea and all the other fruits and vegetables that I know. Ginger, thyme, you know, all that good stuff that's good for you. Ashwagandha. All of that. Good for memory. He said he's the king of juices. Well, I ain't mad at him. You know, think big. Don't ever think small. So, Rich is like, well, you know, they told him everything they needed to know. Now, Rich just pissed me off because, again, why don't everybody know why Andy was getting ready to marry Gary? Even Jordan knows. Thomas, like, oh man, it's not just our girls. You know, man, they still have Andy too. And then Rich is like, man, buck, that's not Jordan's girl anymore. Since when? So he goes on to say, had she not been playing Jordan and Gary, then we wouldn't be in this mess. So I don't say this in front of Sabrina because she's like her best friend or whatnot, but that's just how I feel. Hudson is also interviewed, and he's like, you know, he called Gary, his interviewer called Gary the Black Burning Madoff. Now, personally, I think Hudson did it. Hudson, you know, I think, you know, of course, it has to be someone that's odd, right? So I think it's either Hudson or the dude that worked for Jordan. I think his name was Brandon or something like that. So it's going to be somebody odd. I don't think it's going to be a main cast member. Or, you know, they say the word on the street is that Robin is coming back. It could be Robin. Robin could stay at Gary's ass. You know, he came in on, he used to watch them Nook. If you buck, now Nook, if you buck through the window. That's how sick Gary is. But now we have to protect Gary because Mr. Gary got offed, allegedly. Because everybody on the cast thinks he's gone on to glory. Poor Karen. Karen got to walk around with that prosthetic stomach for another year. And she made her point. She's like, well, you know, could you make sure you get to your point? Because I got, you know, things to do. And so instead of, you know, concentrating on if she might have killed Gary, then this is what I don't like about this show. Here come the whole shaming, right? Don't you have twins by two different fathers? And what business is that of yours? What does that have to do with this murder? Bring it all home, right? She was like, well, you have two businesses, don't you, Miss Mike? You have your salon, and then you invested in Rooster Riches. Were you aware that Marie was involved in Gary Borders' original pyramid scheme? No, and she don't care. What does that have to do with him investing in Rooster Riches? Like she said, I got things to do. Wrap this shit up. You know I'm sitting up here 81 weeks pregnant. And now I got to deal with this. Come on now. Wow, this is quite the coincidence, isn't it, ma'am? The woman that invested in your company has now lost lots of money investing with Gary. Don't you think that's a strange coincidence? No, I don't. And what that got to do with me? No, he didn't call him a cousin. Call him with you. Boy, I would have jumped up and slapped that high yellow off him. And I said what I said. And the green eyes out to see. Sitting up there all smug and arrogant when he knows damn well that he was trying to get up on it when he found Andy out there walking in the woods. So, Sabrina is next. So, what's going on with you? Weren't you involved in this robbery? I was innocent. So, this gives you motive though, right? You would have done anything to help Andy Barnes. Didn't Andy Barnes help you get out of the robbery case that you were found innocent in? What that got to do with anything? I was found innocent. Because I was innocent. She was supposed to help me. She's my friend. She's my sister.
Not kill Gary.
You could probably get off on temporary insanity if you would have went in good at Borders.
Unless you have any other questions, I'd like to leave.
So he was like, well, I could see why you would want a good Borders. He did have a vendetta against you and your friend. And, you know, you being that you went through so much during the robbery scandal, I could see why you would want to cut him. And I did not kill Gary Borders. Oh, yeah, I understand. Don't you think you can get off with involuntary manslaughter if you plead insanity? Why would she do that in front of you, cop? You plead insanity and you get your pleas in when the DA gets involved. Jax taught me that. Shout out to Jax over there on Reasonable Doubt. She taught me more than what Andy's taught me over here on Sistas. Cause Andy be up on some man all the time. She don't ever get time to be in the ghetto rich law firm. So now we have Zach. Zach said, I ain't saying yet until you give me my turn. And it's like, attorney, what you need an attorney for, Gary? I mean, Zach, you know, did he mess up all your money? You only need an attorney if you think you're guilty. I ain't saying it. See, Gary being a petty career criminal, he knows not to do any talking now. Especially since he done whatever he's gonna do to his own brother Jeremiah over there on the team. Now this right here pissed me off. Right? Because he's like, well, what is Heather's attorney gonna say if she finds out that you are involved in a murder investigation, you and your fiance? And look at all the things that Heather is involved in. And isn't Heather lawyer anyway? Ain't he a suspect? Come on, Tyler Perry. You got to do better than this. Well, wouldn't that be a shame if poor little mute Michael has to go back into foster care? Mute? Then he said, well, don't bring my son into this. Then he said, I won't as long as you cooperate. Child, this is the worst damn interrogation I ever seen. Even if it is fake. I seen better on damn soap opera. Let Phyllis come on the scene. See, I haven't watched Young and Restless in years. Confessions. I started back watching it last week. And I'm already caught, right? So, Phyllis has figured out the murder caper. She has figured out that it was actually Sharon who had murked Helen. But why does Phyllis know? Because she knows the right questions to ask and she thinks, right? And these people on here are not thinking. They done hauled in all the people that surrounded him and don't have one real suspect. You have to narrow that thing down, narrow it down. Phyllis know more than Chance does, and she ain't even a cop on the show. It's Chance. You said murder investigation. Gary didn't make it. This motherfucker sitting up there with his wide milk thud head knowing that Gary made it. Here it was. I thought you from the hood. How many brothers you know walk away from a knife in the heart? Apparently Gary. So I like the way Andy is handling this now, because you know Andy usually get on my nerves, that doe-eyed innocent look that's really not innocent but just creepy. She goes on to say, well, you know you have nothing. That's why you trying to blame me and my friends. Because me and my friends, I know, are incapable of murder. That part. Get it, man. Use your lawyer skills for once. So, he gets her right and says, it's one suspect that you care a lot about, that you are very worried about right now, though. And you're scared of what he might just be telling my colleague right now. Nobody care about what he telling your colleague. Jordan's gay. He's not my boyfriend. That's all Andy had to say. She should have played what, when Kiki Palmer was allegedly getting her butt beat. And she said that, us shame my man. Can't be Kiki's man because he's gay. That's all she had to do with Jordan. Jordan's gay. He's not my man. Then it's crazy behind calls the person who murked Gary an American hero. Because he's like, you didn't murk him, did you? And she's like, of course not. Like I said, I don't think any of the girls did it. Like, and Andy implicated she implicated Hudson as well. Look at her. So Fatima has a new podcast that we just not finding about this episode. You would really think that we would have known that last season or whenever she started this podcast and before we find out in this particular episode. Well, the podcast is about a paralegal who will do anything for her boss and is extremely loyal. Yeah, that may be the case, but again, another surprise career for Fatima. How does she have time for this? Being pregnant, having Michael, law school. Now remember, all these things were causing problems between her and Zach. Now she adds a podcast to it, a surprise podcast at that. Child, I cannot make this stuff up. So he said, well, she's like, wouldn't that be kind of far-fetched if I murked him, according to the fact that I do have a podcast? And then he gonna say, well, maybe it's, you trying to be obvious and everything is hidden in plain sight. Jabba. Again, your man is Hudson. And I wouldn't put it as low-key, dirty, and low down as Gary is. I wouldn't be surprised that he stabbed himself. And that's on the real. So now he's trying to, drag Andy talking to Jordan. And Jordan's like, well, you got, the cops tell Jordan, well, you guys are innocent. It's probably all Andy Boyne's fault, you know. She was quote unquote playing attorney while at the same time messing with Gary, and you and your twin sister was just innocent bystanders. Isn't that right, Jordan? Well, then that would make him even less of a suspect, wouldn't it? Damn, I'm just saying, it's how the parent land, they act like we ain't got no common sense. And where's Penelope? How come she's not being interviewed? Now, see, I can see Penelope doing it. So, after a bad day, Sabrina meets up with Rich Podcast. Rich, who so rich that he found out he wanted kids all of a sudden because Sabrina is the one. But he only found this out after she decided to get sperm for somebody else. Now, she told your looking ass she was serious and she wanted some good sperm. You didn't give it to her. She went around the corner and got some from somebody else. That's what you're supposed to do. So then it goes to her diary, and she's like, "Dear diary, I murked someone." Basically what she said. And then she's like, "That wouldn't be smart. They actually believe that I did it. Let me tear this out. No. Because this is going to get me in trouble in the long run, right? Because I'll be on the world's dumbest criminal. Confessing in my diary. In the words of my diary. Let me say, oh. Shout out to Alicia Keys. I won't tell your secrets. Just think of me as the pages of your diary. That's my favorite song by Alicia Keys, by the way. So she writes instead that my girl, who's been dealing with Gary's ass for years, about the same amount of time that Karen's been pregnant, decided that she's really going through a lot. And somebody went around that corner and decided to stab his ass. But I'm not going to say he didn't have it coming. And he did. Like I asked in my community wall, which y'all didn't respond. Shout out to y'all who follow me and don't engage with me on my community wall. I have some good shit on there, okay? Now, she's like, but he deserved it. And being close to this much trauma is really making me think about my own life. Then she grabs her vape pen, which, by the way, she was smoking in front of the Lord. I don't guess y'all saw that part, or maybe I wouldn't think that, because, you know, Georgia is still a red state, so I wouldn't think that the marijuana was legal. But she was puffing, and she didn't even offer to call none. So finally, Macaroni Bologna Tony comes in with his therapy skills, and he's trying to get the feelings out of her. Man, your best friend is being accused of murder. But you want to get it on? You don't want, Dan, you don't want none of this. I do want some of that, but I always want some of that. But right now, we need to talk. Right. Get up off that man and his hips. I don't really want to talk. I just want to get it in. Are you serious? Mm-hmm. You look pretty serious to me. Now, let me just say this about women. Now, I'm a woman myself, so I'm going ahead and say this. Now, when a man wants to talk to us, when we horny, you're horny, let's do it. We the ones want to do it. But when they don't want to communicate and just get some, then we still have a problem. Now, you can't confuse the male sensory like that because they real slow. They don't get it. So stop giving this man confusing mixed messages. You said you needed a man to communicate because that's not what Preston did. Now you got one that's communicating, you trying to talk at the phone. So Pam stops by and she tells her, well, I thought you could use a friend. Stop by Karen and a ride to work. By the way, Pam is looking good in that black hair suit. I'm just saying. Now Pam is considering herself one of the best after she done jumped up on a man and riding it for a man that used to like her. But that's neither here nor there. We that kind of friends these days. You know, we don't go by the girl code. You know, we still jump up on a man that used to like us, my so-called friend, and just ride it anyway. Why not? And then she's like, well, you know I'm a bestie. Ah, yeah, I guess so. Then they hug. And the next thing. So Fatima and Zach, Fatima looking down like, cause Zach is pacing on something. Like, acting like I'm the one killed. And she looking like, did you? They say, did you? You the one got the junkie naked cousin. AKA Madam. Who? All the Queen's men will be coming back on November 28th. Just in case you didn't know. Are you sure it wasn't you, Fatima? I didn't do it, man. So next we have Hudson over there at the hospital. All concerned and shit. No, he needed. Even if Gary did survive the wounds from this stabbing, then he also should be going to jail. Seeing as how he's convicted of pulling off a Bernie Madoff. Well, not convicted. Needs to be convicted. The doctors say, you know, we were able to revive Gary. Now, what kind of hell can Gary cause next? Being that he's being investigated. But, you know, Tyler Perry never wraps up storylines anyway. So, he'll come up with some long, lengthy thing to keep him on the show. Whatever.
Tough son of a bitch.
So, we find out that Gary's a lucky son of a bitch. And back to Agent Wad and Andy. He's like, Andy, you know that you probably have caused Jordan the ability to win any election because he had the misfortune of getting involved with you. Well, first of all, he pursued her. Let's be clear. Second of all, she didn't know Gary was gonna do all the things he did. And third of all, she definitely didn't know he was mucking on his sister when they were together. And it had a point. You know, she really did, because men are not protecting women these days. And if she was protected by him knowing how Gary was, then she wouldn't be in this predicament right now, Mr. Good One. All right, Andy. I like that you let the claws come out on that one. Shows your acting chops on this one. Now, I don't critique the acting as much because I know it's being written by Tyler Perry. And now, quote unquote, his team. But you delivered. And I enjoyed it. Because he failed you. And you are correct there. So he claps and says, bravo, bravo. You'll be great in Hollywood. Maybe you should give up divorce. Being a divorce attorney. Now what you could do is tell me why you did a 180 and decided to marry Gary, Viola. Well, I mean, you don't know. After you put Penelope in witness protection, you don't know what kind of man Gary is. Hey, Robin is back, y'all. And he told Andy, shut up. Don't you say another word. And episode ends there. Come on in, like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Hit the notification bell button. You will be notified when I upload a video. Sisters, I feel like now that Robin's back, I feel like it's going to be given an extra judge that I need in my life from this show. You know, he's been gone for 72.7 years. Now, if you know me, of course, I don't mean these numbers, literally. I'm being sarcastic, guys. But he has been gone a long time. And where you been? Where you been, Robin? We need you. Now that might throw a monkey wrench into the dang thing with her and Joy. By being another little love triangle, because you know Robin likes to watch. Okay, and that is the end of this recap. Like I said, like, comment, subscribe to my channel. Hit the notification bell button. You will be notified when I upload a video. Like, share the video. Because what sharing is indeed caring. And as I do, when I close, I'm going to check them out.